Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris from Dreamedia. Got a brand new episode for today. Today we're going to be installing that Paladin DCR lens that we just saw us unbox. So what this thing is it's an anamorphic lens. It's from Panamorph. Basically what it is, it's an external glass type of lens that you put in front of your projector. Doesn't matter if you have a Sony, Epson, JVC, all kinds of other projectors are, you know, they make these things kind of universal so anyone can use them. So the one we're using specifically is the Paladin DCR. If you guys have the Paladin DCR-C, it's probably very similar. I haven't necessarily done one, but just follow along, read the instructions if you guys need to as well, but it's very, very simple. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how to install one of these, and we'll do it right after the intro. All right guys, so what we're doing now is we're attaching the strong fine adjust mount onto the JVC RS2000, as well as we have the bracket for the Paladin DCR lens. That's an anamorphic lens that we're using up front. So we're gonna go ahead and cinch this stuff down. It doesn't have to be overly tight, just make sure that everything's nice in there and snug. But we're going ahead and right about to mount this thing to the top of the projector. So we should be ready to go really, really shortly. Oh man, this thing is heavy. All right, got it.
Slide all the way back.
So now that we've gone ahead and gotten the screen up there, now the next step is to go ahead and align it. So we're making sure it's level with Earth. And then we're using the knobs on the front, those micro adjustments on the JVC, so that whenever we start throwing an image on here, then we can actually get the actual image completely on the screen. And then this is really critical. This is a very important part, especially whenever you're going into an anamorphic type lens on the front. You have to make sure that you spend the extra time doing this specific part right here, because it's going to make a lot more, your level of error becomes a lot more small whenever you're going to an anamorphic lens. So that's just basically what I wanted to say there. So we could basically have to get this thing perfect on there, and then we'll resize it and then get the lens installed in a second. But that's where we're at. We'll update you more in a second. Well, all right guys, so it looks like we're gonna go ahead and put on the DCR lens right here. It's pretty simple. You only have to put on, all right, well, it's pretty simple in theory. So all you have to do is put on that bracket that is attached to the XM2, and then you use the included hardware, and then you use the spacers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take you guys in for a closer look real quick, so it might get a little shaky here in a second. But let's go ahead and look at what we're talking about. So there's some little brackets right there on top. I'm gonna go Scooby-Doo. So we see that these little brackets right there on top makes it real nice and easy for this thing to be nice and flush against this secondary bracket that you need for this lens. But that's basically it. You go ahead and screw in the sides there, and then you make sure you do micro adjustments so that whenever you do the anamorphic on the screen, and you guys won't be able to see this right now because we have this massive window back here, and then the exposure is way up right now. But then you make sure that all of those are perfectly on there, because you already made sure that the projector is centered to your screen. Now you're making sure that the lens is centered to the projector. So that's basically your last step there. This takes a while, but just like I was talking about, the last thing took a long time to make happen. This is just little micro adjustments that you do over and over and over again. It just takes a little time. Last thing you do is take off that protective plastic film. But we'll go ahead and keep updating you as we finish it out. All right, so guys, check this thing out. What we got up here is we have the Paladin DCR lens right up on the JVC RS2000. Now, what I originally did is I originally shot this, and we had the larger spacers on there, which work perfectly for the JVC RS3000. But since this is a 2000, has the 65mm lens versus the 100mm lens, you basically have to use a different configuration. So look at those little guys right there. You basically add this thing, cinch them up from the bottom to the top, use that smaller spacer, and then you make these micro adjustments on the side. So it takes a little time, and then if you do your job on the first part, whenever you got the projector true with the screen, this should make it a lot easier just finagling the lens around and making sure that the lens is true with the projector. So basically that's where we're at right now. If you're looking at the screen itself, you probably won't be able to see this because we have a huge window back over here. But if I drop the exposure, you'll probably be able to see that a little better.
Well, we still have a few adjustments. But
there's still some micro adjustments that need to be made, but we're showing almost, I would say probably 95% there. We still got to make some more adjustments, and then the customer just let down the lights. But yeah, we're getting there. and it's just gonna take a little more time, but this is what the process is, guys. This stuff takes time to do. Take your patience. This stuff's expensive. You don't want to put your fingerprints on it. You don't want it to fall down. So slow down, take your time with it. It's gonna make all the difference. Well, that looks like we're done with the installation of the Panamorph Paladin DCR lens. We got that thing attached to this big boy right here, the JVC RS2000. That thing is up there, just like I was talking about like a second ago. Just do those micro adjustments, everything works out perfectly. Now, obviously, it would be ideal if we had this window, you know, covered a little more, but as you can see, the image is incredible, and I don't have this 1-inch border here. This is called the medium border from the Zero Edge screens. I definitely like this one. It looks a little more elegant than what I think I have, but I mean, eye is in the eye of the beholder or whatever. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
There you go.
So I don't have that one, but I like this one. But either ways, both of them look incredible. I think it kind of delineates it nicely from the overall space itself. And then he already has his Philips lights already configured into the system. All we gotta do is push this little guy back, but that's basically it for the install of the Paladin DCR lens. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You definitely get to get a difference of doing the full resolution on the screen versus having a 2.40, 2.3 like this. Typically what you would have is down here, you'd have overscan, and you'd have overscan on top. So you're basically losing contrast, you're losing your pixel density, you're losing your brightness. So that's the main reason why you use the lens and you use the projector itself to utilize the full chip reflective device, and then you can actually have that nicely on the screen with its de-squeezed image with that lens. So I get it, they're expensive, but they definitely serve their purpose. And this specific scenario, I think it turned out amazing. And like I talked about, the install is basically the biggest part of the job. Get that right and you're all set to go. But really appreciate you guys for watching. If this video helped you guys make a buying decision, just make sure that you guys call us, shoot us an email. We're happy to help you out. Our sales team is standing by, waiting for you guys to give us a shout. But big shout out to the customer here. I think he's really happy with what we've done in his space today. We've done a lot more than just install the Paladin DCR lens. But that's basically where we're at today. I'll go ahead and end this video here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Catch you next time.